Welcome to the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the almighty B-Live, the money man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative Eddy Kool. The Sports Bros Podcast, by the fan, for the fan, talking sports just the way you like it. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. April Fools, but guess what? We not no fools. You're not no fools. But you know what's the truth though? You're tuned in to your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros Podcast. Be like this episode 290, ain't it?
Oh yeah, 290.
Yeah, 290, man. We are 10 away from 300. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna plan something cool, something fun, and something special for episode 300. And if y'all want to be a part of it, just let us know. I go by the name of Eddy Kool, aka the HOC up in this thing. And as I mentioned before, this is a Sports Bros Podcast. 6 years in the game. We've been doing it for quite some time. Y'all love it. We love it. And we're going to give y'all some more of it. But of course, you know I can't do this by myself. Joining me right now is one of the two best co-hosts in the world. So pretty much it's about to turn into an episode of Nightcap. Let's go ahead and say that. Let me stop. He is the one, the only, coming to you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina. The guy that made this dope graphic that you see. If you watch on video, and I'm pointing directly at him, that graphic you see, Sports Bros Podcast, 6-year anniversary. He made that. So for all your graphic design needs, holla at your boy, the almighty B-Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
A lot. I know we miss our football, of course, but man, we're in the thick of March Madness, and there was a certain little thing that happened this past weekend, opening day of Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something real quick, because our other co-host, the money man Scottie D, he usually starts off with a song, and he's off on assignment. Is that the best way to put he's off on assignment?
Yeah, he on assignment.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try this out. So I had a song in my heart based off of what's going on in baseball. Anchors away, my boy. Anchors away. And the reason why I say that is because damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Woo, them bats are flying, especially the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. What a way to start off Major League Baseball. And my Braves got swept.
In San Diego, B-Live of all places.
Jesus Christ. I watched all four of those games. I'm just over here like, we may need some torpedo bats.
Yeah.
Because our bats are not, our bats ain't batting. And that actually works. Like, I need some hits or something. And our starting pitching is good.
Yeah.
Our relief pitching, not so much. We already made some change. I'm going to make this a breaking news announcement that hometown favorite, Braves favorite, Jesse Chavez has been called up from the minors, and they send Hector Neris after his atrocious start to the season. They what's the DFA what's that, designated for something?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Defam.
Yeah, it was whatever some of the stuff is. Yeah, he got to go. It ain't working.
Yeah.
But Jesse Chavez, Braves, because he finds a way that he will play for the Braves, do great. He'll go to another team, do terrible. Braves pick him back up. He goes to another team because they saw how great he does for the Braves. He does terrible for the other team. The Braves pick him back up. I feel like this is like the 5th time that Jesse Chavez has left the Braves and then been invited back. And now he's been called up from the minors and is part of the major league roster, Jesse Chavez. I know my friend Brenda absolutely loves Jesse Chavez. Like it's
Mm.
ridiculous. But yeah, he's back. Oh man, I'm already spilling the beans. We got to get to the top. Got to get
Yep.
to the top.
With
Talk
that,
to him.
with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. The top of the order.
All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order.
Be Live, we'll get to baseball shortly, but right now we got to talk about the basketball. We got to talk about March Madness, the Final Four, and then the women got their thing. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me try something. I kind of been experimenting with something. I'm a, I'm a, I'm a borrow something from somebody right real quick. Paige Beckers, double deckers, Eric Deckers, Lady Gamecocks and six.
Oh man, we still because as you know we record on Monday for Tuesday, so I believe that there are two basketball games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Yes, two tonight. To fill out the rest of because only half of the final four is there. You got UCLA, I think you got South Carolina, and then I think TCU and Texas play, and I forgot who the hell UConn plays. So it's starting to narrow down. Be Live starting to narrow down. But before we go there, Be Live, let's go ahead and talk about the men's real quick. From the looks of it, from the first time since 2008, four number ones are in the Final Four. The Tigers of Auburn, the Blue Devils of Duke, the Cougs, the Houston Cougars, and the Florida Gators. I was about to say, if the SEC did not have a AO single, not a single representative in the Final Four, we're gonna have a problem here. So, Be Live, recapping this weekend's March Madness. What do you think? What are your predictions? What say you?
Oh man, it is, to be perfectly honest with you, it is too close to predict
Mm-hmm.
because you have and these four teams, they were clear cut number one seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, Florida, Houston, Duke, they have been the best four teams pretty much all throughout the year. You've had a little bit of movement here and there. Duke was number one for the long. I think as the AP stands, Duke is the number one team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But it has fluctuated with Houston being up there. Auburn was there for quite a bit, and then they had a little blunder at the end of the season. Then Florida comes through and handles the SEC, which is clear cut the strongest conference in college basketball as of this year. And so now they have their rightful place with two teams out of four in the Final Four. They 14 a record 14 teams made it in the tournament, and it's just clear cut. As much as I really don't like to talk conference, I like to talk just individual teams because Clemson will always be better than the Coots. I said what I said. All Coot fans out there keep saying, the Game Chicken fans keep saying that. Oh, McNeese State, McCheese State, da 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 da. You
I
didn't.
left you alone. I left you alone. I left you alone. I did do that.
Y'all didn't even make the tournament.
JR on the other hand, I know he got you. I know
It's
he got
okay. I may. JR don't know which fan he want to be. If he want to be a game chicken or a dookie, either way, figure it out.
well,
She,
I'm pretty sure he don't want to do right about now. We know that's his team. That's a squad.
man, right. Well, here's the thing. This was we all. Well, I think JR grew up in North Carolina, so that makes it
Yeah,
easier.
he did. He did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and being from the Carolinas, we had two choices growing up. In football, it was Clemson or South Carolina, and in basketball, it was North Carolina or Duke. And he had a sprinkle of Wake Forest and NC State, but that was the choices that was presented to us. So I don't necessarily fault him because I grew up being a North Carolina basketball fan. I
Mm-hmm.
still was, and I still root for him from time to time, but it's all day Clemson every day. But yeah, I digress. When it comes to these four teams, they've all shown why they belong to be here. Grit, determination, skill, coaching, all that. This is like you have four of the best in the game. I mean, Kevin Sampson, Bruce Pearl, and you know what? John Shire is falling right into place to um where Coach K left that program. He left it in a great position. Recruiting is still at a high level. I think that they're going to continue this sort of one and done thing because I don't think Cooper Flag's going to stick around. But we'll see how if that is sustainable
Mhm.
at the Gnome. And so really, I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be Florida versus Duke. I believe they're playing the best basketball right now, but you can't count Houston. You really can't count any of these teams out. We
No.
have the best four teams in basketball. This is for you lazy freaking bracket pickers out there that pick four number ones. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to pick four number ones. That doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. The last time all four number one seeds made it to the Final Four was back in 2008. And guess where the Final Four was at in 2008?
Was it in Florida?
No. Same place as it is this year. San Antonio.
San Antonio. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So San Antonio just so happens they're like, hey, we'll invite the number one seeds. And with Houston just being right up the road, there's gonna be a lot of Houston representation in San Antonio.
It's a home game.
Hey, but man, I think here's one thing I've also noticed about the Final Four. It all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way the floor is set up, the light, it's just a different atmosphere when it comes to the Final 4
Mm-hmm.
and it really is who wants it the most. So man, I'll be honest with you. I can sit here and try to analyze everything and all that stuff and try to. I just who wants it the most?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be coaching. It's going to be just nerves. All of everything that is when it comes to competitive sports. Everything's a factor, and you got to add all SEC matchup: Florida versus Auburn. You got Houston and Kevin Sampson, who's been coaching as long as John Shire has been alive.
A long time.
So you got that experience factor. Who will pull it out? I can't wait. Oh, got to go through this whole week of overanalyzing everything and figuring out who did what and the shooting percentage and above and under and who did it and a bunch of stats and himbo and whatever.
Nothing to make your head spin.
I know.
I'm like you, be like that. That's kind of the annoying part of it all. It's kind of like it's like the Super Bowl. We know who playing. So for 2 weeks, we got to talk about a bunch of hot air and non. I don't want to call it hot air and nonsense, but you do have some. They do find time to find stories, interesting stories. That is, as far as the participants, the athletes go. But sometimes get to a point like, so when's tip off again? So when's tip off again? Like, what are we doing here? So it's just I'm excited to be live. I'm really excited to see what's going to go on the men's side of things because my brackets, I did get the Final Four right. I did. Let me see. Yep, Florida, Auburn, Houston, and Duke. And
You're one of those lazy ones that picked off four number one seeds.
so here's what happened.
I said what I said.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Due to time constraints, I said,
Oh no!
"What?
You didn't just start click 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 click. You ain't put no thought in it.
I was gonna go back and do another bracket where I put some thought into it.
I ain't worried about it, man. I'm just.
I know. He just messed with me. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and do this. And I was like, and I printed. I was like, this look obvious, but it's only obvious if I tell you if it looks obvious. Yeah. So I mean,
It's winning right now.
yeah. I mean, it's I got the Final Four right. Will I get the national championship game right? I don't know.
Come on, Florida.
but it says Duke.
Everybody else is picking Duke. Come on, Florida. I'm
Yeah,
I might have a chance for something.
yeah, and it's like how many points how many total points you think? I think I picked like 147 total points,
I don't even want to talk. Well,
maybe.
I, I think I picked low but that was Florida versus Clemson that
Mm.
I had picked in. Yeah, that you know what? I don't want. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, oh.
Be like, be like, say he been to therapy. He said he doing
Whew.
good. He's not gonna really try to rack his brain. Recently, Be Live. Going over to the women's side of things. The last game, Juju Watkins got hurt.
Oh, I saw that in real time, bro.
Uh,
I
uh,
saw that in real time, and I saw the way her knee buckled. I said, "That's it."
yeah.
That it was. And the thing about it is, if you look back at that replay, it looked non-contact. It didn't look like somebody bumped into it. It looked like it
Mm.
literally just.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no!" Oh, I would. I so hope she comes back stronger because she. Oh yeah, she's destined for greatness, and that just you hate to see something like that.
Mhm.
And that's one of those things where I'm trying. Ladies, women's basketball, I'm trying. I'm really trying. And Juju Watkins is one of those reasons why I can find myself watching women's basketball. It has nothing. It's nothing against women at all.
Nothing.
It's just quirky. Like it's just like the way that they shoot the ball. Can I just, I don't know. I can't really be an advocate for them going to a 9 foot goal for me just to see some dunks and be a little more entertaining. You know what? That's what they should do in one of the no, they can't do that. They can't do that. I'm a basketball player. You can't change their like you can't do 10 foot in the WNBA and then do 9 foot in like an unrivaled league or something like that because it throws off everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't. No, I was thinking of ways to make the game more exciting. You can't do that. I just, it is what it is. But Juju Watkins was one of those reasons that I could watch the game,
Hmm.
and I just really hope that they could that college and WNBA builds a little bit more on showing the individual players. That's how they build up the NBA.
Yeah.
They should do the same thing WNBA, college, but like really make these players shine. And y'all say y'all need to give more respect to Asia Wilson. I don't care what anybody says. I know I'm a Clemson fan, but she bad. And
Well,
I feel like she still doesn't get the respect that she should.
yeah.
She should be the face of the WNBA, not Caitlin Clark. For God's sakes, not what that Bayou Barbie, what's her name?
Angel Reese.
I'm so sick of her. I'm like, oh, ooh, wait, no, I'm about to go off the deep
We,
end.
I'm gonna reel you back in because I hear the rails screeching and I see the sparks, which means it's time to Amtrak this thing. So, so with that being said, UCLA defeats LSU 65-72, and Kim Mulkey was hot. Um,
That makes me happy too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Kim Mulkey was aggravated. What I guess the reporter was like, Miss Mulkey, Coach Mulkey, for the second consecutive year, you've lost in the Final Four. You lost in the Elite Eight. Like, you ever been to a Final Four? Kim, come on. Coach Mulkey, you know good and damn well that journalist ain't been in no damn Final Four. The only time they've been in the Final Four was to cover it. You sounding like a bunch of sour grapes right now. Hey, look, it's sports, Kim. You win, you lose. I mean, from my understanding that Kim Mulkey has been snarky for a long time,
Hmm.
but as you know, some universities wouldn't tolerate that. But with winning makes things be like I want you to admit if I don't tell you nothing else, if you don't remember nothing else I told you, remember this. Winning makes a lot of things tolerable that are usually intolerable.
Oh, absolutely,
For
absolutely.
for example, Aaron Rodgers and all that mess he's doing in Green Bay. Hey, it's okay, he can do whatever he want to, you're still winning. All right.
And they let him get away with putty murder. But and here's the thing, like I said, Mulkey, she was a lot of flash, a lot of flair.
Mm,
She had easily one of the most talented squads that any year has ever seen. When it comes, it's like LSU just has a knack for that.
Yeah.
Now, will they be able to repeat it? Because they did it in football, just like they did it in basketball, where it didn't make any sense. That LSU team that they had. That's why I want people to realize that the Clemson team that we had in 2019 wasn't a bad team, but good lord,
It wasn't at LSU, man. You had
oh,
Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Thad Moss, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and that's
Justin
just
Jefferson,
Justin Jefferson, and that's on the
offensive side.
offensive side of the ball. Stingley Jr. when he was on the defensive side of
Yep,
the ball,
yep.
it was him and somebody else. And it's like you got that on offense and then that on defense. What? What are we
and
doing?
and so yeah, as we digress, but that's
Mm,
what I say. LSU won it 2 years ago, right?
yes.
And that was with Angel Reese. They won over Iowa, right? Was it LSU Iowa in the
Yeah,
final?
yeah, it was LSU Iowa. Yep, they I think LSU beat us and then they beat Iowa. Yeah, and that team had Angel Reese,
Yeah.
Flau'jae Johnson.
It was, yeah, Iowa did lose in the championship game. You know how I remember that?
Mm.
Is because Jill Biden wanted to invite Iowa to the White House as well. I'm like, you don't go somewhere and sat down? My bad. I
Now we
apologize.
hand out participation trophies. Really? This is what we're
Yeah,
doing? Yeah.
I was hot about that because I knew why they wanted to invite Iowa, but I ain't gonna get political. And
Yeah.
why am I getting off the tracks today? Boy, I just
No, this is a good one because I'm gonna keep us together. I'm gonna keep us going. All right, so let's see. In the Monday night matchup, which will all be returned by the time this podcast drops, we got USC versus UConn, and then we have Texas versus TCU. Be live. I ain't gonna lie to you. That girl over there, at UCLA, number 51, that 6'7" center, Lauren Betts.
mm.
Ooh, she made me a little nervous. She made
No,
me a
but
little nervous.
watch this though. Vegas is disrespectful
How disrespectful are they?
because, and I'm assuming this is because of Juju Watkins not being in. The number 2 seed UConn
Mm.
is favored by 14 and a half points. That's disrespectful.
I'm looking at it right now. Yep, they're favored by 14 and a half points.
That's wow.
Mm.
Come on now. You get. Well, I tell you what. You know what? I'm a place a bet. I'm a place. Let's go. I'm the USC for the points because I don't think they missed a step when they after she got hurt. I think they're more than capable. But it is UConn and Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is she. Hey.
As I mentioned last week about best coach of all time, an 11-time national championship winner, and Gino Auriemma. Gino knows how to find them. Gino knows how to find them, and he, from a lineage of great players from Rebecca Lobo to Maya Moore to Diana Taurasi, and now we have Paige Beckers to add to that list as well too. But yeah, like I'm saying about UCLA, it is hard as hell to defend 6'7" in college basketball. Real hard. I mean, we had Camila Cardoso last year, and that was hard to defend too. Yes, we got Chloe Kitts. Yes, we have, Joyce Edwards and Fawali and Pow Pow, but yet still it's just hopefully it's just I like my girls to win, but boy, this is getting
It's it,
it's getting it's,
and the
it's
thing
getting
about it
it's
is
getting thick, it's getting tight, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and
ooh,
it's the legit star power because you even look on the other side with Texas TCU,
mm,
Haley Van Lith.
yeah,
She just keeps finding a way. I think this is the 15th. This is the fifth time she's been to the Elite Eight.
yeah.
Like, first of all, you're not supposed to play 5 years, but
Well,
but that COVID and stuff like that, whatnot. This is the fifth time that she's been to the Elite Eight, which is unheard of.
mm,
And can she will TCU over that vaunted Texas squad? I got one other question for you.
what's up?
When is Don Saley gonna actually start Malaysia for Willie? Like
That's
to have a talent like that on your bench, that's like James Harden with the Oklahoma City Thunder when he was the sixth man. Like
that's the
that's
secret weapon. That's the
that's
secret weapon. But between
wild.
her and Raven John, oh my God.
So I mean, just death on top of death. It's we're going to have one. Both of these Final Fours are going to be legit. I'm going to be watching each of the games.
Mm,
I want to and hope for the very best.
yeah.
Except for the game chickens winning it all. I'll be great.
Mm. I gotta figure out what
I,
I
I,
I got I gotta figure out what Isma want to come with, Carolina by 7, Carolina by 6. Be live.
but
Major League, go ahead.
I need to say this though also. ESPN. I'm sick of y'all. All right, because see, here's the thing. I pay for Peacock. I get NBC. I can watch NBC live. I pay for Paramount Plus. I get CBS. I pay for ESPN Plus. I should be able to watch ESPN. Like I pay you directly. Why can I not get ESPN?
This is wild, man.
And because my mom wanted to watch the game chickens play,
You-
and because she doesn't have it as part of her cable package, because whatever what, I don't know what it is back home or whatever, but you have to pay more just to have ESPN. As
Spectrum.
far as come on, man, y'all doing the most just to pay Stephen A. Smith too much money? No, no, no. If I pay for ESPN Plus, I want ESPN. I ain't gonna say this no more.
Last time we having this conversation. Yeah.
God, that don't make no sense.
Yeah. You get apps to do this, you get apps to do that, but you can't do it. In the words of Be Live. Yeah. But Be Live, let's go and kind of bring your blood pressure down a little bit. I don't want you to go off, man. This past Thursday, opening week in the Major League Baseball kicks off again. Be Live. You know what that means when they swing them baseball bats and start to get warm again. So Aaron Judge losing his mind already. Just bopping the ball out the park, just killing it, just doing his own thing. And Another thing that happened, Dodgers World Series past meets present, according to MLB.com. It's pretty incredible that the Dodgers have even one superstar hit a dramatic World Series home run on one leg. Instead, they have two of them to do that decades apart, and Freddie Freeman and Kirk Gibson, and they both took a part in the first pitch. That's pretty cool to see Freddie Freeman and Kirk Gibson. Yeah, I'm limping, you limping, we throwing a baseball. So that's pretty cool to see that be live.
You know what? I'm okay. I just realized something. I'm okay because the Braves got swept. Also, so did the Brewers.
Mm,
Well, I'm okay. All hope hasn't been lost. There's 158 more games. Acuna's gonna get back healthy. Strider's
mhm.
gonna get back healthy. We're gonna be all right. The Athletics don't actually have a city name. It's just the Athletics.
Yeah.
It's, Tampa Bay doesn't have a stadium, and just, I don't know. It's way too early in the season, but it was just good to see, just good to hear. Find me some peanuts and crack. That could have been a song I could have sang, but
Yeah.
I don't care if I ever get back. But no, them torpedo bats in the Yankees. I honestly think that's going to change. I think that's going to change baseball.
Yeah. Because people
Well,
want because people want to see scoring be live. They want to see scoring. That's what they want to do.
oh man, yes sir. But yeah, it is good to have baseball back, and we will follow it as best as we can. But baseball don't get serious until August, September. But
Yeah.
there's always something to talk about, and we'll see if these bats stay hot. The Yankees. We'll see if anybody can ever touch the Dodgers and their billion-dollar team, and we'll follow all the stories and whatnot, what have you.
Yep, you are right about that. Hopefully, we can get in contact and get Hunter to join us so we can talk some baseball. We like having Hunter around. It's been a while. So Hunter, if you're in the vicinity of my voice, Come on through, holler at us. So you know exactly how we do. Be Live, that top of the order was action packed, fun, and entertaining. Scottie D missed a lot. He really did
Oh,
miss a lot. Other than that, he be talking trash about, this is Scottie D in the Sports Bros podcast. But he's on assignment. Shout out to him, man. He's doing some baseball stuff at the Trinity High School. Like I said, in my heart, to me, he's still the assistant athletic director because he
yeah.
does everything there. But but Scott's a good guy. Scotty is a wonderful dude. He's well deserved. And with that being said, Be Live, looking at my phone because I have yet to get a watch. Guess what time it is?
Maybe we can call Scotty D up for this next segment and see if he's got a little time for us. But
Be
yeah,
Live, yeah, Be Live. Let's go ahead
about
and
that time.
call to the bullpen right quick and get this guy out here, get Scotty D to give some relief, if you will. With that being said, I'm glad you asked. It's time for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, old button, hit it. Kick ass. Choices of the voices coming at you right here on your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast. Hey, y'all, we'll be back. Don't you dare go away. Hang on. We'll be right back, all right?
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
ever so lovely Miss Button
for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. Y'all know how we do it. We ask y'all a question, y'all give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros Podcast on choices of the voices. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap this week for choices of the voices?
Well, everybody must have been really, really busy watching March Madness because we didn't get a lot of answers, but it was March Madness themed. And we talked a lot about how we've talked about this, how it's all top seeds, Final Four, we've mentioned 4 number 1 seeds in there. But coming into this past weekend, there was really no Cinderellas. It was all the big names, the big teams were in there. So I was asking, do you enjoy this more? Have you enjoyed this kind of all big name, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, or do you miss the Cinderella? Would you have been more interested if one of these 15, 14, 13 seeds, or even 10-9 had kind of upset the big dogs and made a run? Which do you like better? Have you preferred the Cinderella? Do you prefer the Cinderella stories, or do you like the blue bloods, the big boys that have been ruling this year's March Madness tournament? Eddy Kool, not a lot of people spoke, but we did get a couple of answers here.
They must be busy watching the basketball, the NCAA tournament, or the XFL. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, it was week 1 of the USFL. Sorry.
Boy, the UFL, I saw they had about a dozen people in the stands. Good for those guys. Good for those guys. They had a good 12 to 15 people that showed up for the football game they had on the other day.
Not 12 to 15. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Our Hall of Famer, Uncle Max, he says, I really like Cinderella's being in the mix. Makes it more exciting for me. All right. He says that. And then Tom Wynn, I think he airs the sentiment of a lot of people. NIL apparently killing off small prey over time. Yeah, we can't really. I mean, the NIL either works 2 ways. It's going to make you real good or make you real bad. So, that's how that works. All right, we got Jeffrey Scott Dean. He says, I'm up about $1,200, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, if you bet favorites this year, now I personally have not done that. I bet, and I'm making small $2, $3, $4 bets on FanDuel just to play along to keep interest. I went with the theory that eventually underdogs win in this tournament. So you get 2 chances to win. Either you win outright or you cover the spread. And I think I lost 5 times, which puts me down about $12. Not exactly high rolling and losing sleep, but yeah. So if you're betting favorites this year, they're not only winning, they're covering some spreads. I mean, we've had some blowouts even without the Cinderellas. There've been some big games that have We discussed all that stuff a little bit ago. You guys did anyway.
Yeah. We talked about it. Y'all can rewind it and listen to it again if you want to really hear what the hell we have going on. So up next, we have Clifton Lewis. He said, honestly, I like seeing Cinderella teams in there. My team isn't in it, but I pull for those teams to win. Now, granted, they may not, but sometimes they could shock everyone. That's what makes the tournament great to me. Right? In 80 series, he says, I like seeing Houston go far. When I went there, you couldn't give a Cougs ticket away. He said you couldn't give them away. Kind of
He's
like
a Houston alum,
yeah,
or he may be like me and attended all these schools and they ain't got a piece of paper. That's me. My bad. That's just me.
yeah.
But before we continue, quick shout out to my man Clifton Lewis. Cliff, his family actually just suffered a tragedy. A fire burned down his home just this past weekend. So I just want to send out prayers and thoughts
Mm-hmm.
to him and his family. Things can be replaced, but I know it's tough to see everything that you've built up and everything to go in flames. So much prayers, thoughts, love goes out to him and his family. And anything, if we can do to help, please reach out to us, brother. We're here for you, man.
Yeah, man. Please let us know, man. Please let us know. All right, with that being said, shout out to Uncle Max, Tom Wynn, Jeffrey Scott Dean, Clifton Lewis, and AD Series for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. You know what? I'll go first. You know what? I kind of miss the Cinderella. I miss the Cinderella teams. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got your George Masons, your Florida Gulf Coast, your mid majors, and they made a lot of things exciting, and
VCU.
yeah, VCU with Shaka Smart and all them, like they really made things exciting, and with the sign of the times with the NIL deals, now we see where everything is going. Now we see exactly where everything is going. So yeah, if you ask me, I miss the Cinderellas because I'm like, oh, how far can Cinderella go? Will she go all the way and and find that golden slipper, or will somebody step on that golden slipper and say, get out of here? No, no Cinderella here. It's Blue Bloods and Powers forever. So yeah, I miss it. I miss it. I really do. But then again, this at least we know that this Final Four here is going to be competitive. But all in all, I miss it. What say you, Scottie D?
Well, I've always enjoyed the Cinderella, and I've liked the run, but I also have always said that once they win, do I care about them the next game?
Mm.
And because when you go into a Sweet 16 like we did this past weekend, and you see some of these smaller schools, well, that's just going to be like an automatic win, pass into the Elite Eight for Duke, for example. Duke's going to just roll over whatever team. Well, in this tournament, that's happened anyway. I mean, Duke played Arizona and beat them 100-93. That game really wasn't that close.
Mm.
Then they destroyed Alabama by 20. Auburn knocks off Michigan 78-65. None of these games were really coming down to the wire for the most part. I think what Houston was at Purdue, they had a close game that came down to the wire, and then Tennessee had a blowout, and then they show up and decide to do nothing but just clank threes off the iron after dismantling Kentucky. Then they come out and just lay a complete egg, which is baffling to me because you mean you don't have a plan B. You don't have something else to go to besides that. And so they were never even in that game against Houston. It was never even close, which is kind of odd because if you're weighing the two coming into the game, Houston just squeaks by with the basket at the buzzer. Tennessee looks dominant against Kentucky. They play, and then it goes completely the opposite way. So having said all that, I really like the fact that when I was looking at the matchups that I was going to get, I was like, man, I'm going to see Kentucky against Tennessee. Yeah, I'm going to see Texas Tech and Arkansas, two teams that have been really good. I liked seeing all these competitive matchups. They just didn't pan out in a lot of them to be like a good, close, competitive game like I was thinking I'd get more of. So Yeah, in hindsight, I probably would have liked to have seen maybe one or two Cinderellas slip into the dance there, slip into the ball. But for the most part, I enjoy watching the best teams play in the biggest moments. And here we go for number one. So
Yeah. Be
Well,
loud. What say you?
here's my argument. I love the nostalgia. I love the Cinderellas, because there's schools in parts of the country that we have never heard of, and
Mm-mm.
I think there's a bit of like, hey, we learn these unique stories about all these schools based off of one good win, two good wins, three, four. Then, oh my goodness, have we ever heard of Florida Atlantic University or Florida Gulf Coast if it wasn't for their magical? We would have never heard
Mm-mm.
of these schools. They don't exist in the normal world.
Nope.
The closest thing that we got to this year, I took therapy. Was McNeese State and the Aura Kid. Those are stories that we live for during March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Scottie D, maybe you don't, but I do. I love hearing those unique stories. Now this kid is making six figures in NIL deals because he's Aura and he's transferring to NC State. It's crazy. It's madness to me. Yeah, I think that's what madness is all about. I like those type of stories. Scotty D, I am with you when I do like good basketball, and the cream will always rise to the top. And I don't necessarily like fluke wins, but I like when teams just show up and they have nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though it was against my Clemson team, it was like, yo, McNeese State, they got some ballers on there. And then they're going to get plucked out of the transfer portal. Because here's a little bit of facts for you. Florida versus Auburn, 17 combined transfer players on those two. 17. So
Wow.
are we really getting the best teams, or are we getting the best collection of players that
Oh, that's what it's become at this point.
Mm.
That's what all of college sports, well, at least the big ones we're talking about, the
and for them,
football and basketball.
Duke, on the other hand, recruit like they recruit top level and happen to put this team together that is phenomenal. Do you know, just a small little fact I want to throw out there for you for Duke? Cooper Flag and I can't pronounce his first name, but like Mohawk, he's his starting center.
Mm.
Both of those players still should be in high school.
Oh, wow.
They they graduated early just so they can jump on the roster at Duke, and they're both starting, and they should still be in high school. If they would have been on, they should be class of 2025. All what they be singing? Graduation, Vitamin K, and whatever.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
That's crazy to me, but that's these kids have developed into mega stars, and Duke could easily win it all. And they're one of the favorites to win it all. Houston is just grit and toughness, and kudos to Kelvin Sampson. I really think at the end of the day, we do have a phenomenal Final Four, and these two matchups are going to be incredible. You got SEC versus SEC. You got all the experience. 31. I think Kevin Sampson's been coaching for 31 years.
Mm.
Kevin Sampson has been coaching as long as John Shire has been alive. John Shire was 4 months old when Kevin Sampson became a head coach.
Wow.
That's insanity. But those are the stories that we're at right now. So at the end of the day, give me the best teams. And I'm hoping that this whole transfer portal NIL thing bounces itself back out so we see some of those mid-majors get back into the fray, and then those players develop. Like, I want mid-majors to get those strong players still, because at the end of the day, there's only but so many roster spots for these top-level teams. So don't forget about your mid-majors.
Yeah. Now, I do want to say this, though. I like I understand what you're saying. And just to clear up what I was saying earlier, it's not that I don't enjoy like some of the stories. Like the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and they had all that stuff going on a couple years ago. It's not that I don't enjoy seeing that, and it's not that I'm not happy for these kids that have that one shining moment, so to speak. But as a viewer, like I can remember Northern Iowa knocking off #1 Kansas. They had a little white dude with bad hair, took a 3-pointer they had no business taking at the end of that game, and he made it, and that eliminated Kansas. Well, the next week they go and play Michigan State. Now at that point, I know Northern Iowa is not winning the national championship.
Right.
I know that. I know that they had one great day, and that if they played Kansas another 9 times, they would have finished 1-9 probably against Kansas. It was just that one day. So as exciting as that moment is, do I expect another great game out of Northern Iowa to beat Michigan State? No, and it didn't go down that way. I mean, that's all I'm saying is that it's exciting, but then the next week you don't really care. It's fun to see the big teams get their comeuppance, the big bully get knocked down. But once the bully goes down, do you really think that the underdog is going to go on and win, or is the other team just going to roll them out of the tournament next week? That's kind of what I was getting at. And, yeah, go ahead.
What was it? 2 years ago, our Final Four consisted of UConn, Miami, Florida Atlantic, and San Diego State University.
Right? Yeah.
It was like that was such a like. How did that even happen? And I mean, and at the end of the day, UConn just showed them like, yo, y'all are not even close to our level.
Yeah,
it was a massacre. So I guess
but even getting to the Final Four is huge. So that was like one of the rare instances where those underdog teams did come through. That almost never happens. And now that the NIL is settled, and that was kind of the farewell tour for the underdog at that point, because now you got a team like St. Francis that dropped all the way. Said hello, Division II. I'm going to pass you on the way down, and drop down to Division III, where we're going to play Waynesburg University from now on, and Washington and Jefferson College. We're not going to make the big dance tournament. We're not dealing with money. We're just going to try to be a school. And yeah, too bad for the fans of St. Francis who really enjoyed their run to the tournament this year. That was their goodbye. Yeah. So, money's the root of all evil, and it's messing up everything again. So.
But the love of money is the root of all evil. I like money.
Yeah. I could stand to be a little more evil, I think. Yeah.
Just a little bit more mean, a little bit more nasty,
I like to be a little
money.
Yeah. We gotta stop singing before they want some more money. But yeah, I think we all can agree that gone are the days of the Murray State, Valparaiso, Northern Iowa, Florida Atlantic, Florida Gulf Coast, VCU, George Mason. Didn't St. Bonaventure's make a run at one point? Won the Silver Medal or something like that, or with Jameer Nelson and
what was that one?
That was St. Joseph's, wasn't it? That was St. Joe's.
What was that one? Yeah, one of them schools. What was that one school, Sister Mary, Mother of Grace, that was like 170?
Chicago, Loyola, Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, it's like,
you can't root against a 100-year-old nun in the wheelchair.
Can't do that.
But they weren't going to win the title.
No, it's just the nostalgia. We like it. At the end of the day, the cream will always rise to the top. But yeah, we just don't see that anymore, and I don't know. That's where I'm at. I love a few good stories, but
I would have been okay with having not had the Cinderellas in this year. I would have, I did kind of miss a couple going into there, and like I said, if you're going to destroy somebody anyway, why not have the mid-major guys be the ones that have another week of glory, another week of the shine on them, so to speak.
Yeah, you are so right about that. With that being said, it's been another edition of The Choice of the Voices. Scottie D, what's on tap for next week?
Well, as a devastated Pittsburgh Pirate fan, as we're coming into the season, I feel like it's a poorly run organization. I'm going to ask you to think outside of your own team. Like as a disgruntled Pirate fan, I'm going to try to think of someone else. But give us an example of an organization, and let's just go back, let's say the last 20 years or so, that you think is so poorly run, just from the top to the bottom, an organization that just fumbles the ball, drops the bag, doesn't take care of business, a poorly run in any major sport. We'll talk about them as well as the Pirates next week. Matter of fact, I gotta go here, but let me just tell you this.
Here we go.
My one pepper point here. The Pirates started the season at the Marlins for 4 games. They lost 3 in walk-off fashion. The last time that happened was the 1920s, and that was also the Pittsburgh Pirates, where you lost three teams to open the season in walk-off fashion. And there's no hope. There's no hope. No hope.
Yeah, you still got your Yankees.
Yeah.
No, come.
He runs. you got Aaron Judge hitting 9 home runs in 4 games.
God Almighty!
And now he wants to run.
Scottie D,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Might have to examine those Yankee bats. We got something suspicious going on them Yankee bats.
Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead, like I said earlier in this program. Oh yeah, see, like I said, man.
They asked Aaron Judge, "You gonna change?" He said, "Why and for what?"
Aaron Judge is not using the torpedo bats, by the way.
No, he's not. Yeah, they asked, "How come you change your bat?" He's like, "Why and for what?" No, I'm not doing that. You must be crazy. All right, that about does it for another edition of Choice of the Voices. Be live, grab a pepper grinder, because coming up next, we got Around the Pepper. Stay. Don't you dare go away. This is your favorite sports podcast, the Sports Bros Podcast.
See you later, Scottie D.
As he exits stage right.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Well, you heard the woman. It's time for us to go home and get what I call the hell up out of here. But before we go, Around the Pepper, you know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really here to engage, enlighten, educate, and entertain. Be live. I remember the 4 E's in no particular order, because a brother been busy and it's been real crazy. All right. And with that being said, I'll go first. On this day in history, back in 1938, world heavyweight champion of boxing, Joe Louis, knocks out Henry Thomas in the 5th round of their title bout in Chicago. And it was his 3rd defense by Joe Louis. And at the time, he becomes the reigning, defending heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. 3rd title defense, 3rd time's the charm. He knocked them out. Be live. Over to you.
Oh, man. I'm a segue from our previous topic of discussion with the Choice of the Voices, when we were talking about Cinderellas and the small schools making it through and doing the thing, majors and whatnot. Back in 2023, as I mentioned earlier, about Florida Atlantic University making it to the Final Four. Well, that Florida Atlantic University team was special. And their 3 top scorers on that team were especially special, carrying them all the way to the Final Four in 2022-2023. Well, Florida Atlantic's 3 top scorers made it back to the Sweet 16 this year. The only problem is all 3 of them were all on different teams. Jonell Davis, their top scorer, is now at Arkansas, the Razorbacks, that made it to the Sweet 16. Elijah Martin, their 2nd leading scorer, is with the Florida Gators, which have made it to the Final Four. And Vladislav Golden, their 3rd leading scorer back in 2023, he's with the Michigan Wolverines that made it to the Sweet 16. NIL, transfer portal, picking the good players from the mid majors and making it all top heavy. Eddy Kool, the ball.
And speaking of college, Be Live, I just found this out last night. You know my other job. I work around college, football and putting everything together. So that way, when the season comes, we can Make sure everybody get a good preview. All right, so with that being said, Tetaroa McMillan or Ted McMillan, right? 6'5", 213 pound, first round prospect wide receiver. I watched some video on him last night. He looks great. Be like, just imagine if we had Xavier Leggett, Jalen Coker, and Tetaroa. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. I think Bryce Young needs some weapons to need some shiny new toys, if you will. But as highly covered as he is, his draft stock might be in jeopardy after, according to Athlon Sports, might be in jeopardy after alarming social media video surfaces. So, according to the article, when you're projected to be a first round draft pick in the NFL, almost everything you do leading up to the big day is thrown under the microscope and scrutinized. Whether it's past game film, tape workouts, or comments in interviews, coaches, general managers, and fans will break it down and formulate an opinion on it. For Arizona Wildcats wide receiver Tetaroa McMillan, who is projected to be one of the top receivers off the board this April, a video that started circulating on social media of him talking about his dislike of football is painting a poor picture ahead of the draft. In the video, McMillan claims he doesn't watch football. He don't watch football and isn't a fan of watching film. Later on in the video, McMillan says, I don't like watching film either. I don't ever need to watch it by myself because we go over it as a wide receivers group. Son, just because you want to say it, don't mean you should say it. Now, this is a job interview that's going on here. You want to put yourself in a position to be sought after, to be desired, to be up there and make some real good money. This is one of the times where just because you shouldn't do it. Look,
It's just
stop. Stop. Just
shut up.
Yeah, just stop. Insert foot in the mouth. Just no.
Wow.
Like they say, be live. Honesty is the best policy, but sometimes you gotta shut the hell up.
I just please just tact. Hey,
Yeah.
you may not like to watch film, but at least fake it.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, every other wide receiver that's coming into that's draft eligible, they're like, oh yeah, I love film. Oh yeah, film. I'll eat, man. I don't want him on my team. I need you to want this 24/7, 365. You professional. Oh man.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. So in the words of the money man Scottie D, Ted McMillan, bruh, you're talented as hell, but do better. Hopefully you be live.
Oh man, so I'm switching up a little bit. I'm switching up from the big bracket March Madness. We're gonna go to the National Invitational Tournament, where things are just a little bit different. It's not as big as some people don't stress it as much because it's a smaller tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Not really da da da. Well, you got to have a little bit more faith in your team sometimes. Or you end up with situations like this. When it comes to the NIT, if you are the higher seed in the matchup, you get a home game.
Mm-hmm.
And so scheduling and all stuff like that, if basically you should be prepared at any given point in time unless you're a lower seed and may not necessarily need to be ready to host a game or whatever. But as a number 2 seed in the NIT, maybe you should have your basketball court prepared and ready at all times, or this happens where the University of North Texas advance to the quarterfinal game against Oklahoma State, but they have to travel to Oklahoma State because they had already booked their basketball venue for a staff appreciation lunch. So instead of having the court available for all of your fans to watch another game of basketball, because SMU, the 1 seed, actually lost, so North Texas is now, they have home court advantage, or they don't. But a staff appreciation lunch overrules an NIT basketball game, that we would have moved that staff appreciation lunch. I'm sorry.
I ain't lying.
I'm saying because I could sell tickets to this game and generate revenue for this game, but now we're going to go to Oklahoma State, and where Oklahoma State generates the revenue. Great job, North Texas. I'm going to need y'all to do just a little bit better. Eddy Kool, the ball.
Man, if you don't move that damn lunch into a damn assembly hall somewhere, man, get over it. Everybody get over it. Ain't no but damn 3,000 people at school anyway, and and probably like 400 of his staff. We going over here. The hell with that, man.
Come, hey.
Yeah. All right, Be Live. In the words of Big Extra Plug, the biggest, the largest. And who am I referring to? Florida's Desmond Watson.
Shit, that's a big boy.
Yeah, as he surprises, according to Yahoo, surprises the NFL scouts with 464 pounds weigh-in and incredible strength at the pro day. So he was on the Nightcap podcast with Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp, and it was they shared some pretty good banner. So let's talk about it real quick, all right? So during his career at Florida, Watson has steadily increases weight every year per the Associated Press. As a sophomore, he played at 415 pounds. That number then jumped to 435 pounds as a junior, and then 449 pounds as a senior between the end of between the college football season and Florida's pro day. Watson managed to put on 15 more pounds. While his size helps, it won't be the only thing that potentially gets Watson drafted. He showed off incredible strength at Florida's pro day, throwing up 225 pounds 36 times, benching it 36 times. And more than any prospect at the 2025 Scouting Combine. And if we're looking at it from a standpoint, he could be he could be going for as the title of the heaviest player ever drafted in the NFL draft. Now, Watson weighing in a whopping 464 pounds at Florida's pro day. If Watson maintained that weight and got drafted in April, he will become the heaviest player ever selected in the NFL draft. Trent Brown and Daniel Falele hold the current record for heaviest players drafted. They both weighed around 380 pounds. Be Live, they said this Joker, he ran a 5.93 in a 40-yard dash, and that's a 25-inch vertical leap.
25-inch? Jeez.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
Good
Lord.
Hey, if you're an NFC East team, you know what you need to do? If you're not the Eagles, if you're an NFC East team, you know what you do? You need to get them. That's one way to stop the tush push.
I promise you it would. That's
what I'm saying.
25-inch vertical.
Yeah.
That's a lot of woo. Hey.
Be Live, that's 464 going one way up, one way down real quick. With nothing broken, nothing sprained. It is big old boy, man. Big old boy. Over to you.
Hey, I hope he gets drafted. Hope he gets a nice nutrition regimen. I don't think he can maintain 460.
No.
And being in the that's I'm just the health scares me. But
he gonna have to get down to about 380, 350.
But yeah, I wish him the best. I wish him the best. But yeah, third and final pepper point. I'm gonna do my best media impersonation, where you take a story and you spin it and twist it to make it sound better and more devious. Mm-hmm. I just think it's funny that the LeBron James versus Stephen A. Smith saga has hit a tipping point. To the point where LeBron James has forced the hand of SportsCenter and ESPN. They are packing their bags and leaving LA. It has nothing to do with LeBron, but the fact that ESPN and SportsCenter LA, they are closing up shop after 17 years of being in LA. They are headed back to Bristol, where SportsCenter at night will be shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought it was a good time because Stephen A. Smith is like the voice of ESPN. LeBron said, "Get you and all of your coworkers can get the hell out of my city." I know that's not what happened, but LeBron James, that's it. It is his city. And ESPN was like, we don't really need to be here anymore. Mm-mm. maybe, hopefully, ESPN will start actually reporting about what's good in sports and the NBA, like what Oklahoma City is doing. I know they're a small market and da da da. This is what you're a sports broadcasting channel. I know the E stands for entertainment. We get that. But we look to you for sports.
Yeah, give us some sports, please.
Give us the right sports and not this soap opera drama that y'all been spewing all the time. LeBron this, LeBron that. Get your ass out of LA.
Yeah. Eli, and my for free pepper point, this just in. We got to get to a Coastal Carolina football game because Coastal Carolina, according to WNBF News, they're offering free concessions with the football ticket purchase this season. So we got to find a way to go to Brook Stadium and watch the Chanticleers play some football and enjoy some good old snacks.
I don't know if they want to. I don't know if they want to offer that to me. I'm be in there grubbing.
Tearing it up. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They're greatly appreciated now more than ever. Be a blessing, not a burden. This is Sports Bros Podcast. Be live, take us home.
Yes, sir.
That could be dangerous, like unlimited, like popcorn. And I know people, they just like drink like a 2-liter Coke in 5 minutes, but
especially for my fat ass, there's got to be some stipulations.
Got to be. We'll conduct research. We'll see you next week right here on the Sports Bros Podcast. Bye, y'all.
Hey, it's Eddy Kool here from the Sports Bros Podcast. Thank you for listening, and as always, continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Just click the link in the description box and keep up with the Sports Bros Podcast. And once again, thanks for listening.